Okay, here's a video that's going to solve a CIDR subnetting problem. So we're going to start off with a classless network, a /23 network, and we're going to divide it into 16 equal size subnets. 16 subnets immediately tells me that S is 4, so that the number of subnets is 2 to the S, or 2 to the 4th, or 16. Okay? If I can write legibly here. And so we want to know, first of all, how many IP addresses in each subnet. I'm going to draw my picture of my IP address with 4 octets here. I'm going to start off with a /23, n is 23, 8, 8, and 7 makes 23. That leaves me one more bit here. And then if I need 4 S bits, I'm going to have 3 of them here. And that leaves 5 more bits in the last octet. So S is 4 and H is 5. That tells me that there will be 2 to the H, which is 2 to the, oh boy, I can't seem to make a nice H on this pen. 2 to the H, or 2 to the 5th, or 32 IP addresses per subnet. The delta value is the placeholder value of the rightmost subnet bit, the increment. And we have 3 places here. We have the 128.64 and the 32's place. So the third one over is the 32's place. And it's in the 4th octet. And so we're going to increment by 32 in the 4th octet. But we can tell, because the S bits span over to the 3rd octet, that we're also going to increment the 3rd octet from 0 to 1, from an even number to an odd number. And we're starting with the number 100, so halfway through here we're going to increment to 101, for example. Okay, and so you can see these numbers. I'm incrementing by 32 in the 4th octet, and then I roll around to a 256, which becomes a 0, and then increments to 101 in the 3rd octet, and so on. So I get 16 equal size subnets, and it works out. You can figure out the rest of the numbers here. Hope that helps. Let me do one more here because I went through that one quickly. We're going to start with now a /22 and divide it into 4 equal parts. So S is going to be 2, so that the number of subs is 2 to the S, which is 4. And how many host IP addresses are there? Well, N is 22, and so H plus S plus N must be 32, so H has to be 8. And so here, let me draw out my 4 octets. And so there are 256 IP addresses for each subnet. And let me draw it out here. I've got a N is equal to 22, which is 8 plus 8 plus 6. And so I have 2 bits here, but they're both S bits. So S is 2 and H is 8. Okay, and so the delta value here is the rightmost S bit, and it's in the 1's place, and it's in the 3rd octet. And so we're going to increment by 1's in the 3rd octet: 100, 101, 102, 103, and we only get 4 of them, so we go 0 through 3. And the subnet IDs have all 0's in the host bits, so it's all 0's in the last octet. Subtracting 1 from each of these gives us our broadcast ID. 101.0 minus 1 is 100.255. And I didn't write all the rest of them in here. So what we're doing is we're taking our /22 and breaking it up into /24s. Okay, so each of these is a /24 subnets of a /22 CIDR. Okay, so there are 4 /24 subnets of a /22 CIDR. Okay, hope that helps and that this is clear.